Welcome to the Crashing the Veil message and meditation. The veil is not what you think that it is. It is conceptualized and experienced as a mysterious force field that appears to be the end of existence. However, in truth, this is a perceptual problem, not the ultimate truth of existence. As this reality undergoes transformation, it's helpful to know that changes in perceptual abilities are not only an aspect of consciousness evolution, they also help to drive consciousness evolution. Changes in perception reveal the truth of who and what you really are, as they allow you to see and thus understand things in this reality from a different vantage point. The veil is embedded in your experience as something that has an objective existence separate from you due to a certain level of perception based in separation consciousness that dominates your experience of yourself and the world. In other words, you experience it as, this is just the way that things are, which is actually also a kind of learned helplessness. Once you operate from a stance of, this is just the way that things are, you have ceded your role as co-creator, and you create from assumption and expectation and momentum. This level of awareness means that you aren't aware that you are literally playing a part in the sustained existence of the veil. It is a perfect example of the call is coming from inside of the house. When you believe that reality is an objective experience out there, you lose track of your part in it as co-creator. This lack of awareness means that you face your co-creations as if they are ultimate reality, completely separate from you. This gives the veil and any of your other co-creations an enormous amount of power over you. The co-creator becomes enslaved to its creations. This is one of the hallmarks of separation consciousness, complete ignorance of your role as co-creator in an experiential sense. When it comes to the veil, this process usually means that you believe one of two things. Either that the veil is indeed the end of existence, or that the veil permanently separates you from those you love from this reality after death, and you can only overcome the veil if you die as well. If you believe the latter, you may think that the veil is something that has to be overcome in order to be able to perceive beyond death. However, when you conceive of the veil in this way, you end up struggling with your co-creation instead of rising above it in awareness. This is not a commentary on the goodness or badness, or rightness or wrongness of the veil. The veil is a natural consequence of living in separation consciousness. Once a reality has become immersed in the illusion of separation, not as punishment, but as an act of creativity, curiosity, and experimentation, the veil is experienced as real. But it is nothing more than a natural consequence of living the illusion of separation. It does feel real. You may even be able to tap into it in an energetic sense. But energy, just like matter, is something that is co-created by the members of this reality. So this is just mechanics. Mechanics that you've forgotten in the descent into the illusion of separation. However, mechanics can seem unfathomable when you don't know yourself, don't know your true nature. When this happens, you face your own co-creations with mystification and confusion. You hand your power over to your own co-creations because you are not aligned with the truth of who and what you are. However, the time for not knowing this is over. It's time to allow more of yourself in this reality so that you can stop playing your part in co-creating the veil and instead step into your role as a contributor to a new reality based in connection consciousness. A new reality that will result in a completely different experience of your existence. Before we get started with this meditation, be sure you are in a space in which you feel safe and in which you will be free from interruption. Pause this recording if you need to get into this type of space for the meditation. And now, close your eyes and attend to your breath. At first, just notice your breathing. Can you settle into your breath as an experience? Your breath is continuous. It is a marker of the eternal now because it is always cycling. Settle into the sensations of each part of the breath's cycle. Experience the air coming into your lungs, the pause at the top of the inhale. Experience the air being exhaled and the pause at the end of the exhale. Just attend to this for a few moments. Notice that attending to your breath connects you more fully with your inner landscape, which can only ever exist in the present moment. This is where your dependence and subservience to time breaks down. This is where your awareness is going to linger for this meditation. If you wish, you can also attune to your supports in spirit, supports that exist beyond the veil. You may think of these as your guides, your angels, wise beings on the other side whose presence you feel reassured by, loved ones who exist outside of space and time. Sometimes you may not even be fully aware of who or what they are, but you know that they offer you support. They are always with you. This is just a matter of opening your awareness more fully to them. Ask them to support you in this practice today, and sense their presence flowing more fully into your awareness and experience. Along with this, you may feel a lightening of your space and your experience. Know that this will be maintained by your supports throughout this meditation. Now, open your inner senses. Open your extra senses. As you do this, in your mind's eye, you notice a stairway in front of you. The stairway goes down one flight. It's an inviting stairway. You feel yourself drawn to it. You can peer down the stairway and see a landing below. You understand that these stairs are a passageway into an interesting experience, one that transcends space and time. When you're ready, go ahead and walk down these stairs and pause at the landing. As you descend, notice what happens in your experience. Just attend to this for a bit. As you stand on this landing, you now notice there's another flight of stairs in front of you. These stairs are even more enticing to you. You can peer to another landing from the top of these stairs. And strangely, even though these stairs are going down, you sense that if you go down these stairs, you will feel even lighter, like your perspective is lifting, like you'll be even more clear once you descend this new flight of stairs. When you're ready, go ahead and walk down these stairs as well. Once again, observe your experience as you descend. Let this experience flow through you for a bit. Finally, as you stand on this landing, you see one more flight of stairs going down in front of you. This flight is the most interesting of all. You sense a kind of joy and clarity about these stairs, and you might not even be exactly sure why. The joy is bubbling up from the deeper parts of yourself, the parts that live outside of space and time in complete connection. The parts that are unencumbered by the myth, the concept, the belief in separation, belief in the veil. You know that when you descend these stairs, you will experience complete freedom from these concepts. When you're ready, go ahead and descend these stairs as well. As you go down, you may notice the experience of possibilities bubbling up in your experience. Don't try to hold on to anything. Know that those possibilities are infinite, that once you allow in connection consciousness, they are a continual flow in your experience. For now, just allowing this experience in this meditation is enough to change things in your awareness. Once you've reached the bottom, open up to the experiences that are there for you, that lie beyond your belief in the veil, that lie beyond your belief in space and time, that expose to you your true nature. See what happens. Enjoy this experience for a bit. When you're ready, ask that as much of this experience of your existence beyond the veil as you can hold be allowed to come with you as you come back to your awareness in material reality. Make the request and allow whatever is going to happen to happen. Don't worry about forcing or trying to hold on to anything. Know that the request you've made is enough, and you will notice some differences in your experiences of yourself and reality in the coming days as a result of this practice. This practice attunes a new awareness for you, a stronger awareness of connection consciousness. Even just entertaining the possibility that the veil is not ultimate reality, is not an ultimate ending, changes everything. For now, just allow another moment or two for this process to complete itself. Once you feel that this process is complete, you can allow your awareness to gently come back to everyday reality. You can do this either by taking the stairs back up or by just allowing yourself to gently and slowly rise back to the level of everyday awareness. Once you're at the level of everyday awareness, take 3 deep breaths to integrate the experience you just had into your awareness. Try gently rubbing your palms together and massaging your face a bit to help to bring you back to your physicality. Know that your ability to be more fully integrated in connection consciousness in this reality has been adjusted with this practice. Now take one final breath and allow gratitude to bubble up for yourself and for your supports for participating in this practice. Thank you for practicing the evolution of your consciousness today.